Welcome back to Formula Fun Sim Racing. It's myself, Zabi, and we are back with another round. It's round 22 at the Las Vegas Grand Prix, just before the next round in Qatar. It was Fly Scott who won last year around here. Is it going to be him once more? We are about to find out. This is already and out on the track, so that is surely interesting for sure. And I apologize, I have the brand new headset as well, so don't have much idea about using it on the PC, as I usually do stream on the PC, but that's all about from the OBS while the game runs on my PS5. Everyone very early out on track, including our drivers as well. Fly Scott, High B, Scrubbins and Footy, everyone out apart from Zen, who still sits in the pits, is now coming out as well. So qualifying maybe out here in nowhere. A lobby restart is who's going to be the first one to start a lap at this point. Let's actually have a look at that. So it's Fly Scott, but where's IB? Is he okay? He's in a white car, but he's oh, interesting. He's in a white car, but he's not using white livery. Well, that's fine. I mean, that's not an issue at all, but there we go then. Obviously, this gang's out on track. Every single driver right now out on track. 10 in the session, obviously 5 Rs and 5 are the AI drivers. We usually get 6, but we're missing out on Spliff. Let's have a look at the Drivers' Championship. Zen already the lead of over 100 points, 470 points as compared to Scrubbins at 370. Fly Scott in P3 with 285 points to his name. High B with 231, AI with 224, then Footy in 109, then Spliff in the final and last place in the championship, 96 points. With drivers starting their laps, Fly Scott heads towards turn 1, taking it as smooth as he can into the left and now the right hand around here. Trying to take it easy, nice and easy out there in 6th gear with the DRS enabled and the never-ending straight. It's not even that never-ending straight, but still the first DRS zone out of the 2. Gets to the end of it, takes the curb on the inside line. Sometimes that could be tricky. 26.6 is his time in that first sector. Anyone around goes very wide. Does Fly Scott around here? And his lap is over and at all. What about High B to the end of it? To the end of that first sector. How good is this one from High B? 27.3. Pretty slow from High B at this point. Meanwhile, Scrubbins and Footy are very closer to each other out on track. Is Scrubbins going to slow down to let Footy get past? Or yes, he is going to slow down indeed. Is Zen on a flying lap? What about Footy? 33.4, not really fast. What about Zen around here? So that is gonna be him at the end of that first sector. Is it any closer? Oh, 26.3 as well. So Fly Scott was 26.3. So is Zen around here. Locks up pretty big. And this was the corner that had ruined Fly Scott's race. Meanwhile, an AI driver puts up a lap time on board, but that is interesting so far. So Fly Scott obviously getting his lap time ruined. Not ruined, but basically able to make a mistake, and then that does not count at all. Now coming around the final corner, 135.6, still push the fastest time, despite not really getting the best of start, or best of a lap time at all. But let's see. Still, obviously, I mean, he had lost a lot of time, so I doubt his time is going to be very fast over the finish line. How good is IB? In fact, Fly Scott's done enough time. His time is enough. That is an interesting thing to me, to be honest, because let me tell you, I would have thought that he made a mistake and his lap would have been rather compromised than, you know, putting up a lap time where he has done. Let's see, where does Zen put it, though, over the finish line? 131.873, and that explains how slow Fly Scott's time has been after that mistake, and how where he would have really been had he not made that mistake. Scrubbins 146.9, but obviously that lap time is not representative, and he'll obviously need to go again, and he is going to be going again. Meanwhile, Footy invalidating the lap, heading towards the right end before the end of the first sector, 28.29.5, but that to invalidate What about Scrubbins at 3.5 seconds plus 26.2? That's the fastest of anybody in that first sector, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see how good can he do. How good is he going to be doing over here in this one? And I wonder if the qualifying is going to be full or 11 minutes of it. So not 3 minutes now will be remaining if it is for it to be 11 minutes here in this session in qualifying. So let's get it then as we are around here once more. Ooh, that was interesting, as we're not even, or are we in fact, over the end of that middle sector? We are not over the end of it. In fact, we are over the end of it. I did say that, but sorry about that. That was one line I saw in the middle of the DRS zone, the other of the middle sector. So now there he goes around the main, the second straight, as I said, the never-ending here around the Las Vegas Grand Prix, as he's just only has a couple of corners to go around and make it over the finish line. Meanwhile, Hybe's retired out of the session. I wonder if he's retired in this pit or has crashed out. I think he's retired into the pit lane. 36.2 was his lap time. How good is this one going to be from Scrubbins over onto the front row? 1:31.9. Not enough for a very fast time, but only good enough for a front row start, as Zen should be getting his final lap in and then maybe into the pit lane and qualifying over for him. What about FlyScott? He's not improving. He's not improving at all, and he might have just made another mistake. And I think how fast he was in that first sector was decent on that first lap, and now over 30 seconds then, in his first sector, 4 seconds down on his previous time. That's going to be interesting to see, but this lap's done, and this lap might not be one of the best at all. As his lap is already now, he might improve on his previous one, which he won't do that as well. So even his previous lap was better than this one for him. So let's see if he's charging his battery. He's got 60-70%. At this moment, goes pretty wide on the exit of turn 1, nearly runs out towards the ball and out of the circuit. He's going to try and keep it within the track. He's going to try and keep it within the white line. Scrubbins retired as well, so qualifying is going to be coming to an end. Scrubbins putting up a lap in and locking in his time. What about Zen over the middle sector? In fact, after into the final sector now, Scrubbins has got out of the way for him. And how good is this one going to be? Does he improve, or it comes into the pit lane? He might go and straight up and over the finish line. He indeed is going to be doing that, and doesn't improve. In fact, 4/10 down on his previous time. What about FlyScott? He's 2.3 seconds down. Meanwhile, everyone around is now retiring, as FlyScott and Zen are only out on track, but now Zen is going to be pretty much retiring soon for sure. He's again he was 4/10 down on his previous time at the end of it, and FlyScott hasn't been able to even put a first sector good enough as compared to his first one. 34.5 is his previous time. Still sees him P3, just second, the third best to Zen and Scrubbins, as all of them have now retired, and FlyScott looks like he has slowed down as well and charging up. His backlight is flashing, and that means it is going to be over for him. Unless he goes again and tries another lap on these already 3-lap older soft compound tyres, I doubt he'll be able to find anything at all. So he's going over the line. I think he might retire by just going over the line now, and yes, he should be retiring, I think. Or is he going again? I doubt if he's going again, but let's see. And yes, he has now retired out as well. That's then qualifying over, and it was once again the consistency of Zen and the follow-up of Scrubbins, as both of them lock up the front row. Zen on pole position and Scrubbins in P2. FlyScott in P3, despite not getting a very good time. And then back in P8 is Hybe. 1:36.2 was the time for him, and Footy could not get up a lap time at all. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be qualifying over, as we'll now move on towards the 13 laps of racing and to have fun around here, around the Las Vegas GP, and really give it all. And there we go, really go racing here at the Las Vegas Grand Prix. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 lights are out here at the Las Vegas GP. The lights were out for a way long time than we would have hoped, as it's a good start for Zen, a brilliant start for Zen, and a good start for Flyscott as well, as Scrubbins goes not so good start. In fact, Flyscott's now going to run wide, and Scrubbins and Flyscott's going to be side by side. Is he going to allow Scrubbins to go for it once more on the inside line? No, as now Flyscott is through and up into P2. A very good jump he's had at the start, but already we're going to see with Flyscott coming around and with a chance of, Scrubbins coming around with a chance of an overtake. So interesting mix of strategy for the top two have went for a set of soft compound tires. The top two for the start obviously was Scrubbins and Zenu. Scrubbins has managed for a medium tyre, but Flyscott on a set of soft compound tyres, then High B on a set of softs as well, but Footy then on a set of mediums. So 2 drivers on a set of mediums and 2 on a set of softs to start this race, as High B is going to make an overtake around the outside. In fact, he's going to lose the position straight away. You would have thought he's making the overtake, but that loses out straight up. And already and definitely that soft tyre start, and making the most of the soft tyre. Flyscott at the start overtakes Scrubbins and manages to do a decent job out here at this point, and manages his position P2 so far. High B just going to be side by side, wheel to wheel between the two. Who's going to be late on the brakes? And High B is going to be the one this time around, as earlier he was overtaken, but this time he gets the job done. The AI driver might try and come back at him, and indeed he's going to come back at him. They're going to be side by side once more, heading towards the final corner, as the AI is going to be through of Williams Veteran. He's going to try and drive like a veteran out there, as the DRS now gets enabled, and now Footy might be in a bit of pressure. Oh, in fact, High B is now going to go for it on the inside line once more. Through goes him. Meanwhile, Footy might be spun round, and he indeed is spun round out here. I don't think he's got any front wing damage, or in fact he has got a front wing damage, and that is the front left end plate missing out there on him. Look at that, then Zen still leads 1.1 second, 1.4 seconds now to Flyscott, as Scrubbins and Flyscott are going to be still in their own fight, and that's going to be an interesting one out there for sure, as we're looking at this one between these two. As we're going to get these fight. I mean, only on lap 2, so definitely a bit of fighting, and definitely that medium to soft tire thing is going to come to play right now. The soft tire run is obviously going to be better for a maximum of 2 to 3 laps from now on, as the soft tire is going to run out of grip slightly. The medium tire runner is going to catch back up in no time, and that fight is going to be on. Scrubbins may have an opportunity right now. Go for it on the inside line, heading towards the left end. He's not really going to be going for it though. He still stays out of it. He maybe thinks for it for a moment, but doesn't really think about it at all. As High B is through, meanwhile the AI drivers are fighting each other, as Scan is out there trying to attack Williams Veteran out there at the bottom. Meanwhile, now the gap between Scrubbins and Flyscott is increasing, and that is interesting and actually fun to see here around here, because Flyscott unfortunately couldn't get a time in qualifying, but his pace has been decent. You know, some part of the season we got in the last couple of races that his pace was deteriorating. Like, his pace has dropped down as compared to the top twos. Especially Scrubbins, you know, he won around here last year, so that explains that he's a very strong driver of the Las Vegas GP. But you'd think as Scrubbins goes wide, makes a mistake, Ghost is out, but now that's going to allow Scrubbins to drop down and Flyscott to really get a bit of fresh air. 1.4 seconds, not a lot, still doesn't allow you to do a major mistake, but slight here and there. You'll still have eyes on your mirrors, but not completely, not consistently, not every straight, every corner. You're trying to think where to place your car to defend. At this time around, you'd rather know, okay, at least I've got enough gap to take me through around easily. Yes, as I said, you know, Flyscott has head dropped down a bit of pace, overall pace, basically. So interesting to, you know, good to be for him to be back at the top. So obviously, I'm in championship already over, and a bit of damage if you are Scrubbins or Flyscott. Obviously, at this point, big gap between these two as well. So Scrubbins surely hasn't been able to cope up with the championship lead, but he has been able to at least outscore Flyscott in majority of the races, and that explains in those results as he's 85 points ahead, I think. And now once more that mistake from Scrubbins has got him, had him lose a lot of time, and he just does another one, as we were about to say that he's going to gain up, and he has gained up a bit of time on Flyscott, but he just makes another mistake. Does take a little bit of a curb, and that results in a big mistake as High B's now 1.2 seconds behind Scrubbins now, and Flyscott now, as I said earlier on, he can't do a major mistake, but even if now he slightly goes wide, slightly spuns around, he'll be able to keep up with it and still keep up second place, as Scrubbins now going to lose out to High B as well, and definitely that's confidence, that you really lose by making mistakes. Scrubbins going to be through once more and ahead of High B, heading towards the final corner. Back to P3, that's podium could be on the line, but Scrubbins really hasn't had the cleanest of starts to this race so far in these 5 laps of the race. A race we've done 4 laps, but into the 5th one, so that's interesting to say the least. As now once more Ivy's going to be back at him, and they're going to be side by side. Who's going to be late to the brakes? That is going to be High B through into P3 once more. Gets the extra speed, gets the extra advantage, does IB, and overtakes him into P3. So definitely the fight for P3 could really be on around here. As you would have thought by now, the soft tire is going to be running out of grip. The medium tire is going to come up to use, but that hasn't quite happened just yet, as Scrubbins has managed to unfortunately make mistakes for him in this race, and I think that recovery, unless Flyscott does a major mistake or it's a safety car, I doubt he's going to be able to recover to Flyscott, and still moving around is he is there, but now even before the DRS he's very close to IB, and a possible move could be on the way for him, and really will be on the way for him, as he was slightly using their battery and then slightly charging it once more. In fact, no, there's no move yet for him. They're going to be side by side still, wheel to wheel between the two. Is it going to be Flyscott late to the brakes, or sorry, it's going to be IB, or is it going to be Scrubbins? They slightly make contact, and Scrubbins loses out. There was a bit of contact between the two, but Scrubbins through and back into P3 as Zen is in for a set of medium compound tyres. And first of our stoppers, along with Flyscott, who's into the pit lane as well with High B in. Scrubbins continues on, obviously being on a set of medium tyres, so he's going to do a couple of extra laps on those tyres. But for how long he's going to be able to do that, we are about to find out. Obviously time will tell, but lap 6 out of 13, the soft tire runners have ran out and came into the pit lane with Zen and Flyscott having 2 cars, AI cars in between them, but obviously those AI cars should get out of the way very soon. Meanwhile, our last driver, Footy, at the moment on a set of hard compound tires, so that is interesting to say the least. I wonder if he pitted earlier on at the start of the race as well, when no, he did not. He only has one pit stop to his name, so he did not pit. So everyone now on a set of medium tires, apart from Scrubbins, who will be on the set of softs when he pits in later on. So let's get rid of this detail for a moment at least, as obviously it's not an annoying thing, but basically I learned only a couple of weeks ago that it should rather be off. Obviously, I'm in you work with people, and then you learn about, and in fact, is Zen going to be learning about that he needs to take care against Williams around here? No, not yet. What about Scrubbins, as they're still going to, he's fighting an AI driver. They're side by side, and Scrubbins has got a front wing missing, as he's got one side, right-hand side of the front wing missing around. He's got both end plates missing, but now he's got, no, in fact, no, left-hand end plate is there, but that right-hand side is really around and not really the best of it. You would have wanted for this to be a little bit better, but not really the case around here at all, so hoping it's going to be okay for him. in that final stint, at least in the final stint, as Footy gets a 3-second time penalty. Only driver with a penalty so far in this race. I say so far because obviously different times of the race, different drivers get penalties, so you just never know what could happen and what is going to be happening. So in this one now, Scrubbins, he didn't get a front wing change. Interesting. So he didn't get a front wing change. I wonder if he didn't do it intentionally or he couldn't get it in time. So that is an interesting choice as well, to say the least, that he doesn't get a front wing change. Obviously not a lot now remains in the race, but maybe. I mean, he hasn't got the full part of it missing. He's got slight bits of it, so he's going to be probably, going to be missing out on a little bit of downforce missing, not all of it. So if it's bearable, he'd rather do that. Meanwhile, one of the AI drivers going to be fighting each other. Scan and Williams out there. They're going to be side by side, wheel to wheel between the two. Scrubbins might come and join the party. He nearly thinks about it for a moment, but then backs out with an already damaged car. Oh, he nearly gets damaged as one of the AI drivers really trying to pull away onto the left-hand side, but he has to back out of it and gets the job done. Scrubbins through into P4. IB's over 4.7 seconds up the road for him, unless he could do something about it's on the soft compound tyres. Obviously, in that second stint, him being on the better tyre than everybody around, so maybe slightly just doing the job as compared against others, but we'll find out when does he do that. Zen's got the fastest lap, 2:10s between Flyscott and Zenzoku. Ken Scrubbins has snatched that in, the fastest lap towards the very end. We'll find out, because definitely not yet. We haven't seen him go around and put a fastest lap. Obviously, I mean, he's just pitted. The race leader now enters lap 9. Out of 13, and he's only extending his championship points, only extending his advantage of championship. So looking at the race, Zenzoku leads by by 15 seconds over Flyscott, and then Hype 7.6 seconds down as well. Then it's Scrubbins, who's 3.5 seconds, and he's gained up time on Hype. So that is interesting, despite a damaged front wing. He's gained up a bit of time on Scrubbins and on Hype, unless he's damaged his car, but a bit of time for Scrubbins to be having gained. And eventually, better as Footy retired out of this one. Footy has retired out of this one, and we are about to find out whether he's done it on track or on his... well, he's done it on track, so I wonder if he's done it on his own, or has his car retired, or he's maybe retired because of some technical issues that we don't know about. But obviously, pretty late in the race, not enough time for a safety car to really come out on track, so there won't be any. As meanwhile, Flyscott, Scrubbins and IB could well be getting that heat-up battle. As I said, I said it or not, but yeah, so just before the next one, I'll make sure the mic and everything is fixed around, because if I'm in the OBS or probably even in my editing software recording the voiceover, it should be fine, but this one, obviously, in the screen recording and the AMD software, it might have had some bits of its settings, which I unfortunately didn't do. But there we go. Is it going to be an option and a chance for Scrubbins to get through? As there might be a chance for him now. Over 4 seconds, and he's gained all of that, despite damaged car. He's going to go around the outside. Is he going to send it around the outside? No, in fact, he's not close enough to be making the move just about right now so far. So stays behind him so far. Not now, not much remains, and he sends it already into the final corner. They're still going to be side by side, wheel to wheel between the two, but Scrubbins is through into P3. Is there going to be a chance for IB to come back at him? Not this time around, but sure there might be, sure there will be.
bits of chances around here, as obviously Zen and FlyScott are having their own races, are their lone races, but these two guys are not. They're going to find it, they're going to make it harder for each other, they're going to make it not really easy for one another at all. Now then, getting to the very end of the races now. Not a lot of chances they'll get, as Hype's going to go for it on the inside line. Touches up very late and going to go for it and make that move. Is it gonna be the end of this battle? I don't think so. No, Scrubbins will now get an opportunity to come back at him into the final corner. Is he gonna choose the inside line or choose the outside line? As there's going to be an opportunity for him. As he's gonna go around the outside, but unable to overtake so far. But that's gonna turn into the inside line of turn one. In fact, there's not much distance from the finish line to the first corner, so he doesn't quite do it. But the first DRS zone is gonna be there, and he's gonna be behind the car of High B, so in fact, trying to get the DRS. He does get the DRS, and that rear wing is now going to be opening here on lap 13 out of 12 out of 13. He's going to be through up into P3 once more. That podium position is going to be on the way, and it is on the line indeed. It should be going towards the very end of this race for this battle. And now he's gained up quite a bit, has High B. So P4 for High B at the moment. Scrubbins has gained up now 1.9 seconds, and not much now High B can do, unless Scrubbins makes another mistake, though. Unfortunately, he has been making quite a few throughout the race, which eventually became the reason of IB catching up to him. And already around the main straight, he's gaining up a lot on him. He doesn't get the DRS, but even without that, that slipstream is very strong, and that effect is on. He's going to be on to it, as they're going to be heading towards the final lap of the GP of this Grand Prix when they come around around the finish line now. So it's going to be on the line and really all to play for. 5 tenths between the two. Still a bit of battle, still a bit of things, still a bit of juice and battle to get out of this race so far. They're going to be on. The DRS is on. The rear wing is open on that car of IB. It's going to be through into P3. Once more, these positions are going to be switching. And now I think expect Scrubbins to be a little bit more aggressive. Both drivers to be a little bit more aggressive. And he's going to head towards the wall. Does he damage his front wing even more? No front physical damage. But definitely there is going to be some mental damage to him there, because another mistake. And now he's got a 10-second corner cutting time penalty, and that eventually might as well put an end to his podium finishing opportunity, as Zenzoku once more, the man we've seen who's dominated every other race throughout the season. It is going to be another dominant win around the final corner now. He's going to win the Las Vegas Grand Prix by over 22 seconds, Zenzoku. FlyScott, after not having so many good weekends at all, he's going to be back in P2 and in by a dominant performance by over 11 seconds to the next car. He's going to be coming home as well, so job well done to him, and a good race overall for FlyScott, so very well done for him. And then High B, after a fight here and there, corner after corner, lap after lap, it is going to be him ahead of Scrubbins in P3. And a return to the podium for High B, and then comes Scrubbins without a whole front wing missing around right now. Still a P4. I think he'll take it with both hands, the amount of damage he has and pretty much the mistakes he made around. High B gets the driver of the day, starting further down the grid and getting a P3. And there we go. Those are your podium, ladies. Podium celebrations as we have our top 3 at the top and celebrating and taking those trophies with both the hands and taking their trophies home. As we now have, we've got the end of this one about now. Zenzoku, once again, a dominant win for him, wins it with Fly Squad in P2 and IP followed in P3 after starting P8. A very good result for him. Scrubbins down in P8 after multiple mistakes and a 10-second time penalty, with Footy being the lone DNF out of this one, and of course Spliff missing out. So there we go then, that's going to be the end of it, and from here, from everyone here at Formula Fun Sim Racing and myself, Zabi, adios, bye-bye, and see you in Qatar.